Hi everybody, I'm Vixen and welcome back to my channel. Today I am actually going to be doing a tier list of all of the G1 Frankie Stein dolls and to kind of rate them on whether I like or dislike them. Just a preface, this is personal opinion, so if you really like one of these dolls that I don't like, that's amazing, I'm super happy for you, but this is kind of a way for me to gauge which dolls I want to collect and which ones I don't, so I think this could be really helpful. Today, I believe there are 29 G1 Frankie Stein releases, and I'm also not going to be talking about the collector dolls, just the playline ones today. And so, I'm really excited, and let's get started. The first doll alphabetically on the list is 13 Wishes Frankie. I honestly really like this doll. I love the inclusion of gold. I think that the tinsel in her hair is very pretty, and the eyeshadow, kind of like that brown goldish look, is really cool on her. I also think that this outfit goes well with her design. I do wish they kind of incorporated more of the lightning / electricity theme going on in this main dress part, but the sculpted corset is very well done, and also the longer back part of her skirt, I really like the design on that. I do think though that her lip color should have been something different, but I'm not entirely sure what. So I think that she is going to go into the like category. This is the basic or original Frankie Stein doll that came out with Monster High's initial release, and I absolutely love this doll. I never had her when I was a kid, but I do now as an adult, and I think that she is such a powerful signature doll for this doll line. I think that her outfit is fantastic. The plaid patterning is really well done, and I really like the mesh sleeves as well. I also think that her platform shoes with the stripes work really well with the outfit. And it's a really small detail, but I really enjoy how her lipstick and the red detailing on her bag match. And again, it's so small, but I think it really pulls the whole outfit together. And then she has this little pop of blue from her skelet earrings. Overall, this is a wonderful doll, and I love her. This is the Classroom Frankie Stein doll, and I believe that she is from a sewing class because she has a pin cushion on her wrist there. But this may be my favorite Frankie Stein doll, to be completely honest. I think that she is stunning. Her hair, especially the really low bangs that touch her eyelashes, are very iconic, and I think that her entire outfit is so well thought out and detailed. I absolutely love the patchwork stitched together apron, the stripy dress where the collar is actually kind of uneven to kind of tie in with the Frankenstein look we're going for, and then these diagonal patterned stockings that are black, white, and blue are really cute. And then she has on these very 60s looking heels with the silver toe, and I think that they're stunning. And even her earrings, they are dangly scissor earrings, and they are just perfect. And I think that the dark red lip combined with the rest of the outfit looks great. So she is going into the love tier. Up next, we have Coffin Bean Frankie, and I gotta say that the pose she is hitting in this stock image is crazy. There were a lot of funny Monster High doll poses for the stock images, but this one definitely stood out to me because what is she doing? Anyways, though, I think that her overall vibe is really cute. I think that the kind of diner aesthetic looks really well on the doll with the collared dress. I also really like that she has mismatched black and white shoes, which kind of, again, ties into the fact that she is a stitched together, made of many parts person. I do think that the yellow is a bit off. I think it works in the dress, but not necessarily in the hair. And I also don't like that her lip color doesn't really match, and I think that they should have chosen maybe the red that was on her belt to go with the lip, because the pink lip and then the red detail on the belt don't really go with everything else. And so I don't hate this doll, but I also don't really love her design, so I think that she's gonna go in that first neutral space. This is the Dawn of the Dance Frankie doll, and I think that the color palette of this doll absolutely makes it. The really stark black and white lightning design dress contrasting with the hot pink and blue, almost teal accents is amazing. Again, I love the mismatched shoe detail with the chrome and the black. The pink mesh tights are such a great addition to this doll. One beef I do actually have with this doll, since I own it, those tights want to fall off constantly. They want to escape from her body, but that is totally irrelevant to the design. She also has her little purse and phone, and also a black and white bracelet, which is very cute. Overall, the details on this doll are really cool, and her hairstyle may be simple, but of course the outfit does all of the talking for this doll, and I think it is fantastic, and so she is going to go into the love category. This is Miss Dead Tired Frankie Stein. I always love a sleepover slumber party line, and I think that Monster High does it especially well. Bratz does too, but that's besides the point. I don't have a ton to say because this doll is pretty basic, but I do really like that she's got the striped and also capri pajama pants with little lightning bolt details. She also has a lightning bolt cami tank top on and the striped eye mask. And I do really like across that the whole line has these monster looking slippers, and I think those are really cute. But overall, it's a pretty basic doll, and they probably could have done more, but I know that this was one of the more inexpensive lines. And so I would say I'm pretty neutral on Dead Tired Frankie. This is another banger of Frankie Stein dolls, the Freak du Chic doll. I think this line overall is one of the best Monster High doll lines, so I'm incredibly biased towards the Freak du Chic line in general. But I think her design is great. She has the perfect ringleader look to her. I love the very carnival style floofy skirt and sleeves. She has this black and white spiral design on the dress and a red and black striped belt. I love that she has the rings that you often see at the carnival or fair, and they are skullet shaped, which is a really cute detail. She has a top hat that a ringleader traditionally wears, and she also has a magic wand in her hand. And I didn't realize she could actually hold it like that until I saw this doll in person, so I thought that was really, really sweet. She has these really cool looking tall knee-high black boots with the lace-up details on the front. And also her eye makeup is very pretty. It's this blue to light pink / red eyeshadow look, and it's very sparkly and detailed up close, and then she has a dark lip to complement it. I also really like that this doll has curly hair because Frankie often has pin straight hair, and so I think going this direction with the curly hair really sets her apart from the other dolls, and so she will be going into the love category. When there are great dolls in a doll line, there are also bad dolls in a doll line, and I think that this doll, the Freaky Fusion Frankie Stein doll, happens to be one of those. I think the Freaky Fusion line in general is the most disliked by the community for their very jarring color and pattern combinations, but I have to say I think that this might be the worst Frankie Stein doll, and I say that because the color palette itself is just terrible. The yellow and green muted color scheme looks kind of sickly, and especially when they have that green on her lips, it makes her look like she's ill or has the plague, and so I don't really like that. The kind of long bodysuit she has going on seems very mismatched, and I know it's supposed to be, but there are ways that they could have made this outfit feel more cohesive. The paw bag also doesn't make a ton of sense, and also there's no detail on it at all. And she's got these silver tall boots, silver belt, and she also has ears and fangs. There's just a lot going on, and none of it seems to work well together. So I think that this is going to be my first ugly Frankie Stein doll. This is the Frankie Stein Recharge Station or Chamber doll. I believe this is also from the Freaky Fusion line, but when she's getting recharged after saving her friends, you know, blah blah blah. This doll is interesting because I think there are things that are really nice about this doll and also really not nice. And so I think that her hair, the lean into the really dark blue, I think is great. I think that's an interesting thing to step away from her traditional black and white hairstyle. One thing though that is odd is that her stitches on her body are now blue instead of black. And so it kind of looks like, you know, when you get Sharpie wet and it sort of bleeds, kind of looks like that to me, and so I don't like that. Her outfit is just not great. She's got this very clunky belt on top of a electricity patterned black rainbowy looking dress, and then her shoes are just butt ugly to go with this dress. I don't understand where they chose that shade of yellow if the rest of the playset is kind of this more bright yellow and they chose a more pastel tone for the shoes. It's just really interesting, and so I would say I dislike her. I don't think she's all the way ugly like the previous one we saw, but she doesn't have a ton of redeeming qualities about her. This is the Geek Shriek Frankie doll, and I honestly really like her. And I know that she's supposed to be a more budget doll because there's less accessories and details, but she's a really sweet looking doll. Overall, I love the argyle pattern on her dress, and she has some black sleeves and a little red bow in the center, which is super cute. She has really exaggerated light blue heels and also eyeglasses with some lightning details. Again, I think that the straight across bangs hairstyle just absolutely works with this doll, and they should do it more often. And also the dark red lip, again, really goes with the whole outfit and kind of brings it together. So I'm gonna put her in the like category. Remember what I just said about straight across bangs being the move? Well, that was a lie, especially in this case with the Ghoul Spirit Frankie doll. My overall impression of this doll is that I don't really like her. I think that her outfit is just not cute. She's got this V-neck, 3/4 length sleeved shirt on with the Monster High logo right in the center. I think that the yellow piping on the edges of the shirt are really jarring, especially because there's literally no more yellow throughout the doll. And I know that yellow is an accent color of Frankie's sometimes, but if they're gonna do it, they have to have it somewhere else in the doll. I do like the mismatched shoes as usual, but her makeup is really off-putting to me. She's got this really pale pink lip and then pale pink eyeshadow as well, so it kind of looks like she has pink eye, just a tad. And so I think that this will also go into the dislike category. Next we have Ghouls Alive Frankie, and these dolls are a bit hard to rate just because their gimmick makes them look very different than the other Monster High dolls. And so just to preface this doll, if you press a button on her back, I believe, she lights up like she's getting electrocuted, and you can actually see like the inside of her skeleton and stuff. And so I think that aspect of the doll is really cool. But with doing that and having a lot of like mechanical inner workings in a doll, you are limited to what you can do with the design. And so I do like that her shirt is white, so you can actually see the electricity crackle kind of like going through her body. She does have a receding hairline because her face is actually this really hard plastic. I do think that the skirt is cute, and she has her traditional shoes, so that's really nice. And so I think I'm honestly pretty neutral on this doll because, like I said, it's a bit hard to rate her because she has this mechanical component that a lot of the other dolls don't have. I think my opinion on this doll might get me a little bit of hate, but this is Ghouls Rule Frankie, and I understand that the premise of this line is that they dress up kind of like their parents when they were in high school, and so their fits are very out of date and gaudy looking, and so I understand that. But this doll, there is so much going on, and even though the color scheme is really cohesive, I think the overall outfit and hairstyle just do not go well together. Like, I really like the shredded up kind of high collar vest she has, and then the dark blue sparkly dress that she has on the top half of her body. The bottom half is where they kind of lose me, with this see-through white fabric with the silver electricity detailing. I think it looks really out of place, and I wish they would have just made the blue silvery part a floor length gaudy looking dress instead. And the shoes I think also are a little off-putting because she kind of has like an inch where you can see her skin, and I feel like the boots either should have gone all the way up or they should have been shorter heels like they are normally. But I think the bottom half of the dress is what throws me off. Then her hairstyle. I know it's meant to be crazy, but if you see this doll in person, it is never perfect like that. It is always a poofy mess, and it's really hard to get back into this style, and just in general anyways, it's really hard to maintain. But she does have like a cute little bucket accessory, silver jewelry. I think all that stuff is good, but her hairstyle and the bottom half of the dress really throw me off. And so I think I'm gonna have to put her in the dislike section. Here we have Gloom Beach Frankie, and I have a particular attachment to this doll because my younger sibling had her growing up, and so I vividly remember playing with this doll with my sibling, and so that's a core part of my childhood. But I overall think they did a nice job with this doll. I love that they use the yellow as the accent color, but they do it well here because it's incorporated into the little cover skirt, the actual swimsuit, her shoes, and then even her little bag. I love the strappy sandals and also the tie around skirt. I think that's really cute because you could easily take it off if you didn't want to style her with it. And so I think that's a nice touch. I also really like that the bag that she has, the little handles are like the jumper cables that you use for your car, and that's a really cute specific detail that a lot of people maybe wouldn't notice. And then she has a simple little blue hair clip, and she has teal lipstick and really simple eyeshadow to kind of make her look like, oh, she's casually going to the beach. And given all that, I would say that I like this doll. This is a bit of a different doll. This is the Scarier Reef Frankie. And just like the Ghouls Alive one, this one is a bit hard to rate because she's incredibly different from the rest of her dolls. Here she is a mermaid, and it looks like she's supposed to be an electric eel based on the end of the tail, which is really cool and thoughtful. I think that there is a little too much going on here. I do really like her shirt and the overall design of her tail. I think it plays really well into her character. The thing that throws me off the most, I think, is her makeup. She's got bright red lips, purple eyeshadow, and then yellow under the eye details. And that's a little tough for me because there's no purple or red the rest of the way in her outfit. And so I think that if they had toned down her lips and made them like a more dark toned down red or a blue like they've done for some of her other dolls, it would have worked a little better. And also, because she's a sea doll, I feel like they would play more into the blue color scheme and not lean into that red. And so I would say for her, I'm pretty neutral. I think that her overall like fish design is cool, but I think that they could have done better like making the makeup, the outfit, and the tail situation all mesh better. Here we have another one of my personal favorites, the I Heart or I Love Fashion Frankie doll. I think that this doll is fantastic. The two separate outfits she comes with are really cute, and this is one of the first times that they really played up the red in the outfits. And I know that there's been red before as little accents, but having it as a main color alongside the blue and the yellow for that really bright and intense primary color combination works so well with this doll. I absolutely love how she has this red pleather looking corset on top of this very office themed yellow and blue argyle dress. I love the high socks with the red heels. It's very high fashion. It's very office siren looking. I love it. And I absolutely love that they changed up her hair. Instead of having the traditional streaks of black and white, she has this very strong chunk of black at the top of her head and then also underneath to highlight the back of her hair. She has very dark eyeshadow and dark lips. Overall, I think this doll is great, and this is one where they changed up the color scheme and it looks fantastic. So she is going to go into the love category. Up next is Killer Style or Day at the Mall Frankie. I think that kind of depends on which country you were in or which release because they kind of changed up the names. But this doll is very to me. I mean, she doesn't really stand out for any particular reason. I think that the side ponytail and swooped bangs are giving Hot Topic in the early 2000s, which I guess is cool. But I don't think her outfit is very interesting. She's got this diamond pattern dress and then a silver kind of corset like the last doll we were talking about, but not as detailed. And then she also has black and white stockings under the dress and some high top heeled Converse looking shoes, which I think those are cool and could have been incorporated into some of her other dolls. But she's just not that interesting to me. And also the hair, when you actually put it up into a ponytail, it looks chopped because there's intense layers throughout the hair. And so it looks tiered almost. And you can kind of see it in the picture where it's really short up by her shoulders and then it's longer at the end. And so the hair is a bit strange in terms of its cut. And so I would put her in the neutral category. This is the Picnic Casket Frankie, and she came in a 2-pack along with Jackson. I honestly think this doll is pretty cute. I think that she matches the kind of going to a picnic cottagecore aesthetic as much as you can do with a monster themed line. She has a really sweet dress with a exaggerated collar and yellow bow right in the center. It's this gray color on top and then a black patterned blue on the bottom. And I really like that she has this little cardigan over her dress. It's just this simple gray cardigan with some stitching details around her arm, which is really cute. Her picnic basket is shaped like a coffin, which is also hilarious. And her shoes are this simple black, but I believe from this photo that they're red bottoms, and so Frankie is iconic. She knows how to wear those red bottoms. And I also think that they did the yellow right in this set to kind of match with Jackson. I do like that she has a few yellow streaks in her hair, you know, yellow earrings and stuff. I think it works here. And this is one of the dolls that she has where I don't absolutely hate the pink lip. And so I would honestly put her into the like category. This is Picture Day Frankie, and this doll is fantastic. I absolutely love her. She has a very mod 60s kind of look to her, and I think it is so great. And they did a great job crafting this outfit to kind of fit the aesthetic there. She has a cropped blue jacket with black and yellow accents, and then she has this very exaggerated pattern dress underneath, which is really cute. I love the yellow accent belt and also her purse with the paper clip handle. It is so cute. Or maybe that's a safety pin. I think it's actually a safety pin now that I look at it. Her color block heels are, oh, they're so good. I love them. And the high ponytail with the dark red lip, it's just fantastic. And so this doll obviously will go into the love category. This is Power Ghouls Frankie, and she is obviously inspired by superheroes. And I think that they actually did a really good job on her costume. I love the standout piece, which is her lightning bolt shaped cloak that she has going on. And I also really like the very tight silver dress with some comic strip detailing around her waist, and I think that's very cool. I think that the knee-high electricity boots are great. She has that very like 60s classic comic book look to her with the very tight silver outfits. I also like that she has a headband with some lightning coming off of it as well, and some simple blue earrings, bright red lip as usual. And honestly, I like this doll. I have never seen her in person, but the more I look at this picture, I think that she's a very unique doll in the collection, and so I'll have to put her into the like category. Now we have Real Drama Frankie, where they basically took all of the main characters and made them into this black and white old movie style. I think this doll is very cool. I always love the kind of monochrome kind of looks on dolls. That's why I love Rainbow High and Shadow High. But I think they did a really good job here, and the blue that they chose is excellent. It is so starkly different from the black, white, and gray in the outfits, and it really highlights just how intense and gorgeous those pops of color are. And especially for this doll, I love that the hair is all the way down to the floor almost. They really exaggerated the length, and so I think that that's fantastic. And thinking about the black and white movie Frankenstein as well, this is just a great concept overall, and I think that the color scheme and again, her traditional outfit are just unbeatable. And so I'm gonna put her into the like category. Here we have the princess herself, Threaderella Frankie Stein. This is from the Scary Tales line, where they basically took a couple characters and converted traditional fairy tales into the Monster High world. And so this is supposed to be Cinderella, and this doll is fabulous. I love her so much, and I'm so sad that I don't have her in my collection, but her dress is fantastic. It's this multi-layered blue, red, black, silver dress, and it has that kind of royal edge to it with this flowing side piece, and it's almost all the way down to the floor. It's just a really cool design for this dress. She has laced up red and blue heels, and the back of the heel that she stands on is actually a pair of scissors, which is very cute. Her purse is a spool of thread, and her crown is also some stitch working detail with needles. And so I love the concept that, you know, she's a princess and she stitches herself back together. That is so freaking cool. And I love that her hair is up in this big ponytail of curls on top of the crown, and just the design, the storyline, everything about this doll is super pretty, and so she is going into the love category. Next up is Scaris City of Frights Frankie. And honestly, this doll, like, it's okay. I don't see anything that majorly stands out as being great or terrible. I do think that her dress is cute. I like that there's a pink accent trim kind of going around the edges of the dress. I think that's cool. I also like that she has mismatched earrings and the tall black boots. I just think that they work with Frankie's doll most of the time. Her yellow sunglasses are very oversized Chanel, I'm going on vacation in Paris, you know, that sort of thing, and so I really like those. Her makeup is good, but overall the doll is just kind of like bland. I know that she was more of a budget doll for Scaris, so it makes sense that she's not as detailed, but I would have liked to see her have a more, I don't know, a tailored outfit that would fit her kind of design and character a bit better. And I think you can still do that with a limited amount of funds, and so I think I'm going to put her in the neutral category. This is Skulltimate Roller Maze Frankie, and honestly, this line is so weird. Like, it doesn't really have a theme besides, oh, we're going roller skating, and so I think most of these dolls are a bit odd for me because they just don't really fit into the universe of things. But she's got a very basic kind of arcade looking dress on, and a blue helmet, blue skates, blue knee pads, and then her hair is cut kind of in this below shoulder chop, and she has bangs that are swooped over to one eye. She has some very odd green looking lipstick. I think it's teal, but it comes off very green in comparison to other things. But overall, I don't like her. I don't think that this line is very interesting or unique. I think it was just like a way to kind of put in the gimmick of like, oh, we're going roller skating, because almost all doll lines that are popular have some sort of skating gimmick, whether it be roller skating or ice skating, so I totally get it, but there's nothing really that interesting about her, so I'm gonna put her into the dislike category. Moving on, this is Skull Shores Frankie, and she comes in two variants. I'm showing the black and white one, but there's also a totally normal colored one where she has her normal skin tone and hair, but I'm just gonna show one picture because that's a bit easier. And I think the Skull Shore dolls are really cute. Gloom Beach is a great line, but I think Skull Shores does it just a bit better with the designs. Like, they each have their own uniquely designed swimsuits, they're not basic, and I also really love that they gave Frankie a bob because her hair is normally pretty long. And so I think that that's cute overall. The design of her swimsuit is intricate and pretty. She has this tied up top piece, and then it's connected by a piece of fabric to the bottom skirt, and it's got this nice, like, you know, electricity details going on, lightning bolts, and it's really cute. She's got these high-heeled sandals on, and they have almost like nuts at the end. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, nuts on the heel part, so they're the object heels, and I think that they're really cute, and she just has a nice overall look to her. And the black and white one, again, I think is really interesting because those monochrome dolls are just cool to me. And so I think that she will also go in the like category with her Gloom Beach sister. This is the Frankie doll from the Sweet 1600 doll line for Draculaura's birthday. And I think this doll is really cool. She's got a perfect 80s aesthetic going on with the almost beehive hair look. I adore that they put tinsel in her hair to give her that sparkly party going look. Her dress is really cute. It's got this exaggerated plaid pattern on it. There is an asymmetrical design up by the shoulder, and it's very puffy and sweet and almost looks like a cupcake in a way. And I think that that's really well done. I like that she's got really unique jewelry going on. Her earrings are mismatched, and so are her bracelets, and so I think that's really cute. Her heels, again, are the mismatched color scheme, and they look like they're stapled together, which again, just great ideas from Monster High to incorporate all of her stitch work into her outfits. It's just awesome. And then she also has this little purse, which is a lightning bolt, and I think it can also double as a mask, which is really cute. And I really like this doll overall. She's not my favorite, but I think it's really well done for a dance or a birthday themed doll. And so she's going to go into the like category. I had to start scooching the photos over because there's just so many of these dolls. But this is one of the most desired Frankie dolls that I know of. And this is the Sweet Screams Frankie Stein. Sweet Screams is one of the coolest Monster High doll lines. They really play heavy into this like sweets or candy aesthetic, and they also changed up the color palettes of the dolls a lot, which I love. Here with the Frankie doll, we have this striped dress, and over top she has this kind of dripping coat over top in red. It is very cool. She has fingerless gloves on her hand, which are red and black, a plethora of bracelets. She has these strappy, high-heeled shoes on that go all the way up to her knees. She has a bag that is shaped like one of those wrapped hard candies, which is really cute. And the entire thing that she's got going on here is like the candy is almost melting, which is a really cool detail, and it leads to some asymmetry and interesting patterns. Her hairstyle is up into this bun on the top of her head with some heavy striped bangs and also a bit of red striping throughout, which is very cool. Her makeup is quite exaggerated with a red eyeshadow and some blue circular designs underneath. And overall, this doll is just so cool. And I love that they leaned really heavy into the red and not so much of the blue. And so she is going to go into the love category. This is School's Out, also nicknamed Waved 2 Frankie Stein doll. And this was one of the first dolls that I added to my collection when I started collecting again as an adult. And I think that she is so well done. She really embodies the preppy high school girl aesthetic, and this is the kind of outfit that you think of when you're thinking of like the popular preppy girl. She has a argyle sweater vest kind of on top of this t-shirt dress. Not even a t-shirt dress, it's like a button-up shirt dress. And I love that her sleeves are rolled up and her collar is flared. And it's also buttoned up in an asymmetrical way. And I think that's such a small but really important detail here. I love that she has mismatched like tights going on under here. And her shoes are this amazing split in half plaid pattern. And her heels, I believe, are a nail or a screw. And again, and that's just so cool. She has a crossbody bag with a lightning bolt, and her hair is kind of pulled off to the side in this little clip. And in addition to all the stuff she has here, she also comes with this little laptop, and it is the coolest thing. And I just think that this doll is really well done, and they leaned really heavy into the school aesthetic, and so she is going into the love category. Last but certainly not least is the swim class Frankie doll. I honestly didn't even know that this doll existed until I started doing research about all of her releases, and that's really sad because I think this is a great release for her. And I know that she's already had 2 swim dolls come out, but this is unique in its own right as well. Her hair is kind of styled in this swoop over bangs, and it's got this exaggerated blue coloring in the back. Her swimsuit is really cute. It's this one piece with a lightning bolt detail that comes across her chest and her hips, which I think is unique. I also like that the pattern on the swimsuit is those nuts like I talked about before. She has matching blue bracelets and a yellow beach bag. I do think that her shoes are a bit odd. I would like some more beachy themed sandals or shoes to go with these outfits, because these are just, you know, some high heels. But I think that they work because they're pretty simple. And I also really like her sunglasses. They have that lightning bolt detail coming off to the side and give the kind of cat eye effect. And she has this dark pink lip. I think this is a really cool beach themed doll, and in comparison I think that she's better than the Gloom Beach but a bit behind the Skull Shores, and so I'm gonna put her in the light category with the rest of her swim class friends. That brings me to the end of my Frankie Stein G1 doll tier list. I honestly had a really fun time doing this. Getting all of the pictures and setting this up took a long time, so I really hope you guys enjoyed or appreciate this. And again, this is totally opinion based, and if you like or dislike any of the dolls that I happen to love or not love, that is so great. Please don't hate on me in the comments, because this was just for fun, and it also gave me some insight into how I should collect, because I'm not a completionist collector, and so there are obviously some dolls on here that I would not collect. Namely, the Freak du Chic Frankie doll, because that is literally the only one that I think is just god-awful but ugly. And the rest of the releases are great, and the fact that I have an equal number of dolls in the love and light categories is great, because she had such amazing dolls come out. But again, I really hope you all enjoyed this video. And if you like this content, let me know, because I would love to do tier lists with other characters, because Monster High is such a great and expansive doll line with tons of releases. Like Frankie here has 29 G1 dolls that came out that were unique, and that is insane. And so again, if you like this kind of content, feel free to like and subscribe, or leave me a comment about which of these dolls is your favorite or your least favorite. But again, I hope you all have a great day and enjoy yourselves. Bye!